She is not as confusing as you think. She is just hiding it badly. My friend, let's be real. You have looked at a woman and thought, I cannot read her at all. One day she is warm, playful, texting first. The next day she is distant, shorter, with her replies acting like you barely matter. You start replaying every conversation in your head, wondering if you imagined the chemistry, wondering if you missed some obvious sign she was not into you. Most men either chase harder or walk away too soon, all because they never learned how women really show desire. Here is the truth. When a woman is crazy about you, she almost never says it directly. She shows it in her energy, her contradictions, the tiny things she does when she thinks you are not paying attention. Real attraction does not always look soft. Sometimes it looks like chaos, tests, mood swings, and tension. The Stoics used to say that truth rarely shouts. It whispers to the man who is calm enough to notice. In this video, I am going to walk you through 7 hidden signs that a woman is deeply drawn to you, even if her words and her logic deny it. Once you understand these, you stop chasing for answers and start seeing what is right in front of you. Let's get into it. Sign 1. The emotional chaos that gives her away. My friend, let's be real. When a woman starts falling for you, it almost never begins with calm softness or clear signals. It begins with chaos. Not dramatic chaos, not wild behavior, but subtle emotional turbulence. She can't hide no matter how hard she tries. And the mistake most men make is assuming that chaos means she's losing interest, when in reality, it's the first real sign she's feeling you on a deeper level. Let me give you a real example. Michael, 51, from Dallas, started talking to Laura, 46, a woman who seemed perfectly composed, successful career, sharp mind, emotionally controlled. In the beginning, she was warm, steady, polite. Then, out of nowhere, the shift happened. She became reactive over small things. She snapped when he took too long to reply. She got quiet when he didn't notice a detail. She sent a playful text one day and acted distant the next. Most men would have panicked, but Michael stayed calm, watched and recognized the pattern. This wasn't disinterest. This was emotional chaos, the kind that shows her logic is losing the fight against her attraction. You need to understand something important. Women in their 40s and 50s don't fall quickly, but when they do, their emotional system fires before their rational mind can catch up. Her body reacts first. Her tone shifts. Her patience shortens. Her mood becomes unpredictable around you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you suddenly matter more than she wants to admit. This chaos is not rejection. It's chemistry. It's pressure building under the surface. When a woman starts to want you, she feels vulnerable, and vulnerability makes her nervous system misfire. One moment she's warm, the next moment she's guarded. One moment she leans in, the next moment she pulls back to protect herself. And if you've ever seen this behavior and thought, what changed? The answer is simple. You did. Here's another example. Thomas, 54, from Portland, met Jenna, 45, at a friend's gathering. She was confident, witty, and fully in control until she started liking him. Suddenly, she was sending mixed signals. 1 minute teasing him, the next getting defensive over something small. She wasn't trying to confuse him, she was trying to steady herself. But attraction doesn't steady you. It shakes you. It pushes you into uncertainty. And that's exactly why emotional chaos is such a reliable sign she's into you. The Stoics understood this on a deeper level. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the mind becomes disturbed when desire challenges reason. That is exactly what you're seeing. Her reason is trying to stay balanced. Her desire is pulling her off center. And because you're the trigger, you get the emotional overflow. Most men misinterpret this and make the fatal mistake of reacting to her emotions instead of reading them. They explain, defend, chase, or try to fix her mood. But a Stoic man knows better. Your job is not to calm her by force. Your job is to stay calm yourself. When you stay grounded, her storm settles on its own because emotional chaos seeks emotional stability. And here's what's wild. When you stay steady through her chaos, the attraction deepens. She feels safer. She feels seen. She feels pulled in even more. If you've ever experienced a woman acting a little off, a little emotional, a little unlike herself around you, and you didn't know why, now you do, drop it in the comments if you've seen this in real life. I've seen this. Stay with me, because the next sign exposes what her body reveals long before her words ever catch up. Sign 2. The way she mirrors you without thinking. My friend, let's be real. A woman can hide her words. She can control her tone. She can even mask her emotions for a while. But her body gives her away every single time. And one of the clearest signs she's secretly drawn to you is the mirror effect. The way she unconsciously copies your movements, your tempo, your rhythm, and your emotional pace without even realizing she's doing it. This isn't flirting. This isn't strategy. This is biology meeting desire. When a woman starts syncing with you, she doesn't think, "Let me match his posture." Her nervous system does it automatically. She leans back when you lean back. She softens her voice when you soften yours. You take a slow breath. She takes a slow breath. You pause before you answer. Suddenly, she pauses too. And the more grounded you are, the more her body tunes itself to your frequency. This mirroring doesn't happen with men she's unsure about. It only happens with the man she can't get out of her mind. Here's why. Women don't fall through logic. They fall through atmosphere. When she mirrors you, it means your presence is regulating her. She's subconsciously choosing your emotional tone over whatever she was feeling before. That's attraction in its purest form, not excitement, not flirting, but alignment. Now listen carefully, because this is where most men miss the point. Mirroring is not something you force. The second you try to make her copy you, the energy collapses. Attraction is not built by performance, it's built by presence. And your presence, when calm, grounded, and confident, becomes something she naturally gravitates toward. This is exactly what the Stoics understood long before modern psychology ever put a label on it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That line fits perfectly here. Mirroring isn't earned by trying to impress her. It's earned by embodying the energy she wants to follow. The Stoics believed that a man who masters himself silently leads others. And that's what mirroring really is, silent leadership. You set the emotional pace, and she follows without thinking. Not because you demanded it, not because you forced it, but because grounded energy has gravity, and gravity pulls. Let me break it down even further. When a woman mirrors you, she's not evaluating you. She's responding to you. She's not analyzing you. She's syncing with you. She's not choosing behavior. Her body is choosing you. And the deeper the attraction, the stronger the mirroring becomes. She starts adjusting her schedule to match yours. She matches your texting rhythm. She begins speaking in the same emotional tempo you use. She even adopts some of your expressions without realizing it. That's not coincidence. That's resonance. But here's the important part, my friend. This only works if you're stable enough for her to tune into. If you're anxious, she becomes anxious. If you're reactive, she becomes defensive. If you're unsure, she mirrors uncertainty right back at you. You lead whether you intend to or not. That's why Stoic calm is such a powerful advantage. When you regulate yourself, you regulate the room. And when you regulate the room, her nervous system naturally syncs with yours. That's mirroring. That's attraction. That's desire moving beneath the surface. If you've ever noticed a woman copying your pace or matching your energy, drop it in the comments. I've seen this. Don't go anywhere, because the next sign reveals the subtle tests she uses to see if you're the man she can actually trust. Sign 3. The little tests she gives the man she wants. My friend, let's be real. When a woman starts to feel something real for you, her behavior doesn't become easier. It becomes sharper, softer in some moments, challenging in others. And those little challenges, the quick comments, the delayed replies, the small moments where she pushes just a bit, those are not signs she's losing interest. They're signs she's checking something important about you, your stability. Women in their 40s and 50s have lived long enough to know one thing: attraction without emotional safety is useless. So when she starts testing you, she isn't trying to create problems. She's trying to answer the question her nervous system is asking: can this man hold himself together when I push, pull, or wobble? Let me give you a real example. Richard, 52, from Minnesota, had been casually talking with Angela, 47. Things were going well. She was responsive, warm, engaging. Then suddenly her tone shifted. One evening she said, "You didn't really listen to what I said earlier," even though Richard had. A less experienced man would have defended himself or argued. Richard didn't. He simply looked at her and said, "I'm listening now." Calm, no ego, no panic. Her entire energy softened immediately. Why? Because the moment she felt herself slipping into emotional testing, his steadiness grounded her. That's what these tests are about. She's not looking for perfection, she's looking for composure. She wants to see if your confidence is real or fragile, if your patience is steady or an act, if you lead yourself or collapse the moment there's tension. Here's the part most men misunderstand. A woman tests the man she wants, not the man she doesn't care about. If she didn't feel anything for you, she wouldn't bother. She'd stay polite, flat, predictable, and unbothered. Tests don't come from disinterest, they come from investment. Another example. Samuel, 54, from Phoenix, met Danielle, 44, at a business conference. Things clicked right away. But 2 weeks in, she suddenly started pulling back, shorter replies, less warmth, small jabs like, "I'm not sure you're as confident as you say." Samuel didn't fold. He didn't chase. He didn't explain himself. He simply stayed consistent and let her energy come and go without trying to control it. Soon enough, she came back even warmer than before, because she saw what she needed to see. His stability wasn't dependent on her mood. This is where Stoicism becomes your biggest advantage. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her tests are outside events. Your reaction is your mind. When you stay calm through her little storms, she feels safer with you than she feels with men who match her mood or try to fix everything with words. Stoic men understand this. Emotional tests are not personal, they are instinctive. They reveal the level of attraction she's trying to hide. And when you stop fearing those tests, you stop failing them. So when she gets a little moody, don't. When she pulls away, don't chase. When she questions, you don't over-explain. When she challenges, you stay grounded. Your steadiness is what she's looking for, whether she admits it or not. If you've ever seen a woman test your calm the moment things got real, drop it in the comments. I've felt that. Stay tuned, because the next sign shows what happens when her world quietly starts bending toward you, even if she tries to hide it. Sign 4. When her time and attention bend toward you. Here's something most men never notice until it's already happening. A woman doesn't shift her schedule, her habits, or her attention for a man she feels nothing for. Women in their 40s and 50s are especially selective with their time. They're busy, they're experienced, and they're protective of their emotional bandwidth. So when her time begins to curve in your direction quietly, subtly, almost reluctantly, that's not coincidence. That's desire rearranging her priorities. You'll see it first in the small adjustments. She replies faster to you than to everyone else, even if she pretends she's just bad at texting. She remembers things you said in passing, because your words linger in her mind longer than she wants them to. She shifts her lunch break, her gym schedule, or her evening routine without ever admitting why. She shows up a few minutes early just to avoid making you wait. Women don't do that unless something inside them is bending toward you. This shift isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It's gravitational. You become the center she starts orbiting without meaning to. And what's fascinating is that she often tries to rationalize this to herself. She'll say she's just curious, just comfortable around you, or just trying to be polite. But the truth is simpler. Her emotional world is starting to rearrange itself around your presence. Stoicism explains this perfectly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When she thinks of you often enough, her life begins to take on the shape of that thought. Her attention follows her emotions, and her schedule follows her attention. She might not speak it, but she feels it, and her actions reveal the truth her mind hasn't fully accepted. But here's the mistake many men make. They see this shift and immediately chase harder. They try to lock it in, push the momentum, or use her increased attention as reassurance. That flips the polarity. The calm, grounded presence that drew her in gets replaced by urgency, and urgency kills the entire dynamic. A Stoic man understands this. When her time bends toward you, your job is not to grab it. Your job is to hold your ground. You stay steady. You stay patient. You let her continue moving toward you without forcing anything. The slower you respond, the more clearly her attraction reveals itself. You become the emotional anchor she adjusts herself around, not because you demand it, but because she feels centered when she does. This shift also shows up in another subtle way. She begins thinking ahead with you in mind. She'll mention future plans, ask about your schedule, or create opportunities for time together without saying it openly. Her future starts making space for you before her words ever do. If you've ever noticed a woman adjusting her rhythm to match yours, replying quicker, making time, showing up with more intention than before, you've seen this sign firsthand. It's one of the clearest indicators that you're not just another man in her world. You've become the man she can't help but revolve around. If you want to go deeper into this mindset, into becoming the kind of man whose presence naturally shapes a woman's attention, join the membership. Inside, I break down the structure, the discipline, and the masculine habits that make your energy impossible to ignore. Drop it in the comments if you've lived this shift. I've felt that. Don't go anywhere, because the next sign reveals the hidden devotion she shows only when her guard has fully started to fall. Sign 5. The quiet devotion she hides from everyone else. There's a moment in every connection, my friend, when a woman starts showing you a side of herself no one else gets to see. Not the polished version she shows at work, not the guarded version she shows acquaintances, not even the light, playful version she shows friends. I'm talking about the quiet devotion, the subtle loyalty that slips out only when her feelings run deeper than she's ready to admit. You won't hear it in her words. You'll see it in what she does when you're not asking for anything at all. Let me give you a real example. Jonathan, 53, from Colorado Springs, had been seeing Melissa, 48, for a few months. Nothing too serious on the surface. They saw each other when schedules allowed, talked regularly, but not excessively, and kept things relaxed. But one day, after Jonathan mentioned offhand that he'd been struggling with sleep, something changed. Without announcing it, without making it dramatic, Melissa started adjusting little things. She remembered the exact tea he liked. She began choosing quieter restaurants because she knew noise bothered him after long work weeks. She even started sending him reminders to rest, gentle ones, not intrusive. That wasn't flirting anymore. That was devotion in disguise. Quiet devotion always looks small from the outside, but it's huge on the inside. Women show loyalty through details, details men often overlook. She remembers what makes your day easier. She softens her tone when she senses you're drained. She protects your peace even when she's the only one who notices you need it. And here's the truth. She only does this for a man she respects and feels safe with. A man she doesn't care about gets the polite version. You get the attentive one. Another example. Stephen, 50, from Virginia, was casually spending time with Erica, 46. He mentioned once jokingly that he hated when people mispronounced his last name. A week later, during a group outing with friends, Stephen heard her gently correct someone with confidence, without hesitation, and without making it a big deal. That is devotion. Not loud, not dramatic, not obvious, but real. Here's the psychology behind it. When a woman cares about you, she starts investing in your emotional comfort. She pays attention in ways she hopes you'll never need to thank her for. She adapts, she supports, she protects. Not because she's trying to earn anything, but because her guard has dropped far enough that your well-being matters to her. This is where Stoicism adds clarity. Seneca wrote, "A gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver." Quiet devotion is exactly that. It isn't about grand gestures, it's about intention. She chooses actions that strengthen you. She chooses words that steady you. She chooses behavior that reflects her growing attachment long before she's willing to say it out loud. Most men miss these signs because they're too busy looking for the dramatic ones: big confessions, bold moves, jealousy, declarations of love. But mature women don't operate that way. Their devotion is subtle, intentional, and deeply emotional. They care by paying attention. They love by adjusting. They show loyalty by protecting the parts of you no one else even notices. If you've ever watched a woman quietly invest in your comfort, your peace, or your well-being long before calling it anything, drop it in the comments. I've seen this. Let's keep going, because the next sign reveals how her silence becomes one of the strongest signals you'll ever receive. Sign 6. The silence that makes her feel you stronger. There's a certain shift that happens when a woman starts feeling you on a deeper level, and it has nothing to do with the things you say. In fact, it's the opposite. She begins reacting more to your silence than to your words. Not because she's confused, not because she's insecure, but because silence from a man she's drawn to hits differently. It creates space, it creates tension, it creates presence. And presence, when it comes from a grounded man, is powerful. Silence is not distance. Silence is pressure. The right kind. The kind that makes her awareness sharpen and her emotions rise. When you go quiet, not as a tactic, not as punishment, but as your natural state of calm, she starts to feel you more intensely. She notices the pauses. She reads between the lines. She overthinks the tone of your last message. Your absence becomes louder than another man's words. This is exactly what happens when your presence carries weight. You don't need to fill every moment. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to constantly reassure her. Your stillness does the work. And here's the truth. Most men overlook silence reveals her level of interest far more accurately than conversation ever will. If she doesn't care, she barely notices. If she's mildly curious, she might wonder for a second and move on. But if she's into you, silence becomes a gravitational pull. She feels the gap. She checks for your messages. She replays your last interaction. She leans toward the space you're not filling. This is where Stoicism comes in, not as strategy, but as foundation. Marcus Aurelius said, "Silence is a source of great strength." The Stoics didn't mean passive withdrawal. They meant the strength of a man who doesn't react immediately, a man who allows space to clarify truth, a man who doesn't rush to fill every gap with noise or insecurity. When you embody this, your silence isn't emptiness, it becomes presence. A Stoic man understands that silence is not about withholding, it's about anchoring. You remain calm while her thoughts start moving. You remain steady while her emotions rise. You remain grounded while she reaches toward you with her attention. Not because you're playing games, but because you're not ruled by impulses. Silence also reveals her intentions. Watch how she responds to it. When she's drawn to you, her behavior shifts. She asks more thoughtful questions. She tunes into your emotional tone. She softens, becomes more intentional, more attentive. She might challenge you lightly just to feel your energy again. She might shift closer emotionally or physically because the quiet pulls her in. But here's the key. Silence only works when it comes from internal stability. If you go quiet out of anxiety, she feels distance. If you go quiet out of insecurity, she feels avoidance. If you go quiet out of fear, she senses weakness. But when your silence comes from composure, from a man who is comfortable with himself, she feels you, not the silence. That's why silence is a signal, a deep one. It shows her your mind is not easily shaken, your emotions are not easily provoked, and your attention is something she can feel rather than chase. If you've ever seen a woman lean into your silence instead of running from it, drop it in the comments. I've felt that. Stay tuned, because the next sign reveals the feminine softness she only shows to the man who reaches deeper than attraction. Sign 7. The feminine softness she only shows you. There's a shift in a woman that you'll never see unless she feels something real, and it's not loud or dramatic. It's subtle, it's warm, it's the softness she reserves only for the man who gets under her skin in a way she didn't plan for. Women in their 40s and 50s don't soften easily. They've lived enough life to build walls, routines, and emotional defenses. So when that softness appears even for a moment, it means something deeper is happening. You'll notice it first in her tone. A woman who normally speaks with confidence, clear, direct, polished, suddenly sounds gentler when she talks to you. Her voice drops slightly. Her pace slows. She speaks in a way that feels welcoming, almost like she's letting you step a little closer to the version of herself she doesn't show the world. Let me give you a real example. David, 52, from San Diego, had been talking to Rachel, 44. Rachel was sharp, independent, and extremely controlled in her communication. But when she was with David, something shifted. Her posture softened, her eyes warmed. She laughed in a different way, lighter, more feminine, almost like she didn't expect herself to sound like that. David told me, "It felt like she was breathing differently around me." That's feminine softness. And it doesn't happen unless she feels safe, drawn in, and emotionally open. You'll also see it in the way she looks at you. A woman who's attracted to you doesn't stare, she glances, often, quickly. But when she's softening, those glances start lasting a little longer. She holds eye contact, not to challenge you, not to test you, but because she's letting you see the side she usually hides. Her eyes become more expressive, more inviting, more vulnerable. That vulnerability is not weakness, it's attraction. And pay attention to her body language. When she's around you, she might lean slightly closer without realizing it. Her shoulders relax. She stops crossing her arms. Her movements slow down. She becomes more graceful, more open, more receptive. This isn't conscious, it's instinctual. Her nervous system is telling her, you can let your guard down with him. Now here's the deeper truth. Feminine softness only appears in the presence of masculine steadiness. She softens because you are steady. She becomes receptive because you are grounded. She relaxes because your energy communicates safety without you saying a word. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed by the color of your thoughts." A woman's softness is dyed by the energy of the man she's with. If your presence is rushed, anxious, or chaotic, she won't soften. She'll match it or protect herself. But when your presence is calm, clear, intentional, her softness blooms. Not because you asked for it, but because she feels it. This softness also shows up in how she treats you. She becomes more nurturing, more considerate, more attentive. She asks how you're doing with genuine interest. She remembers what matters to you. She lets herself be playful in ways she wouldn't with anyone else. She touches you lightly, not to seduce you, but to feel closer to you. This sign is powerful because it doesn't appear unless attraction has moved past the surface level. Anyone can flirt, anyone can mirror, anyone can test. But softness, that's her subconscious revealing, you matter to me more than I intended. If you've ever seen a woman soften around you in ways she doesn't with anyone else, drop it in the comments. I've seen this. Stick with me, because the next sign exposes the tension in her eyes when she's secretly pulled toward you, even when she tries to hide it. Sign 8. The heated tension in her eyes when you're near. There's a kind of attraction a woman can hide with her words, with her posture, even with her behavior, but never with her eyes. When she's drawn to you, in a way she can't fully control, her eyes betray her. Not with long dramatic stares, not with obvious flirting. It's the tension, the spark, the slight hesitation before she looks away, the locked-in focus that lasts 1 second too long. That heat in her eyes is one of the strongest, clearest signs you're getting under her skin. You've probably seen this before without realizing what it meant. You walk into a room and before she can think, her eyes snap toward you. She looks away the moment she notices you, noticing her, but then she looks again. Not to check what you're doing, not to be polite, but because something in her is reacting before her mind can catch up. A woman who feels nothing will look right through you. A woman who's unsure will glance once or twice. But a woman who feels that pull, her eyes linger, her expression softens. Her attention gravitates toward you no matter how hard she tries to stay composed. This tension isn't casual, it's instinctive. It's her body communicating something her mouth refuses to say. Women in their 40s and 50s are masters of emotional control. They've had decades to learn how to suppress, redirect, and disguise their feelings. But desire has its own language, and the eyes speak it fluently. Pay attention to the small things. When she looks at your mouth while you're talking, when she blinks slower around you, when her eyes widen slightly before she regains composure, when she seems hyper-aware of your presence, even in a group setting. Those signals aren't accidents. They're her trying and failing to stay neutral. This is where Stoicism becomes a real advantage. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly. Attraction isn't created suddenly either. It builds in moments of awareness, in the silent tension between two people, in the way energy shifts when you enter a space." A Stoic man understands this. He doesn't rush. He doesn't push. He doesn't react with boyish excitement. He lets the moment breathe. He allows the tension to do the work. That's exactly why the tension intensifies around a grounded man. Your calm amplifies her awareness. Your presence sharpens her senses. The steadier you are, the more she feels the electricity. She doesn't feel pressure. She feels pull. And here's the part most men miss: the tension in her eyes is not something you chase. It's something you observe. The more calmly you recognize it, the stronger it grows. Women feel safe letting that tension exist around a man who doesn't misuse it. A man who doesn't gloat, doesn't brag, doesn't make it awkward, just holds himself with quiet certainty. Attraction shown through the eyes is the closest thing to honesty you'll ever get from a woman who's not ready to confess anything. It's raw, it's unplanned, it's real. Her eyes reveal the desire she's trying to keep contained. If you've ever seen that heat, that flicker you felt in your chest the moment she looked at you, drop it in the comments. I felt that. Let's keep going, because the next sign uncovers the signals her body gives off when her words are doing everything they can to stay controlled. Sign 9. The body signals she can't control around you. Some signs are subtle, some signs are emotional. But this one comes straight from her body, and she can't hide it even if she tries. When a woman feels that pull toward you, the deep, instinctive kind, her body reacts before her mind can regulate anything. And the older she is, the more telling these reactions become, because women in their 40s and 50s don't waste energy on men who mean nothing to them. One of the clearest signals is how her body shifts when you enter her space. Not dramatically, not theatrically, subtly. She straightens her posture. She adjusts her hair. She becomes hyper-aware of how she's sitting or standing. These are micro reactions, but they're powerful because she doesn't plan them. Her nervous system is speaking for her. Let me give you a real example. Mark, 55, from Tampa, had been casually spending time with Olivia, 48. He told me something that made this sign crystal clear. Whenever he walked into the cafe where they usually met, he could see her body respond before she even smiled. Her shoulders pulled back slightly, her breath deepened just a little, and she'd shift her weight toward him even if she stayed seated. She wasn't flirting, her body was reacting to the man she wanted. These signals are instinctive. When a woman's attracted, micro-behaviors start showing up everywhere. She tilts her head slightly when you talk, sign of heightened interest. She points her feet toward you, even when she pretends to be relaxed. She keeps her arms uncrossed around you because she subconsciously wants to appear open, not guarded. She leans in, even when the conversation doesn't require it. And pay attention to her hands. Attraction often shows up there before anywhere else. She might play with jewelry, touch her hair, adjust her clothes, or lightly graze the table between you. These aren't nervous habits, they're grounding behaviors. Her body is building tension she can't release, so it shows up in movement. Another example, Ethan, 50, from Seattle, noticed something interesting with a woman he'd been seeing casually, Nicole, 45. Whenever they stood close, talking outside his car, waiting in line, walking together, she'd shift slightly closer, without realizing it. Not enough to look intentional, but enough that he could feel the space closing. She wasn't chasing him physically, her body simply wanted proximity. That's desire on a deeper level. Here's what's important, these signals don't appear when she's neutral. When she's uninterested, her body stays still. Closed off, efficient, minimal movement. But when she's attracted, her nervous system wakes up, her senses heighten, her energy becomes more alive around you. Stoicism gives you the advantage of seeing these signs clearly, without reacting impulsively. Epictetus said, "Nature gave us one tongue and two ears, so we may listen twice as much as we speak." In this context, listening means observing, paying attention, letting her body communicate without you pushing, performing, or chasing. A Stoic man doesn't jump at these signs, he reads them. He stays calm, grounded, present, and that presence makes her body react even